Internet friends, let's just get to it. The biggest story of the year just dropped, which is the Trump-Musk WWE cage match. That's not a cage match at all. Remember the good old days when enemies used to at least duel? Now we just get a cyber feud. On June 5th, 2025, these two went from allies to enemies over the one big beautiful bill. And I don't know if everyone's buying it. You let me know if you think this is just the script, if it's all theater, if it's a distraction, or if it's a series of actions meant to generate a certain outcome. Maybe a few of the aforementioned could apply, potentially. But who's pulling the strings, and why is Palantir lurking in the background? Let's unpack this drama and the real issues the media will never tell you about. Here's what the media won't tell you about the Elon Musk-Donald Trump breakup.
He's upset. Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk. And even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it.
So here's the tea. Elon Musk, fresh off finishing his gig at the Department of Government Efficiency, a newly appointed member of the Black Eye Club, slammed Trump's massive tax and spending bill, calling it a disgusting abomination. Why? Well, the stated reason is because the congressional budget office says it'll add $2.4 trillion to the deficit in a decade. And taxpayers will inevitably feel the burden of that. The debt slave chain's way heavy. Trump responded saying that Elon Musk is just salty because the bill kills electric vehicle subsidies, which will tank Tesla's stock. During this response, Trump even bragged that he kicked Musk out of his administration. Just to catch you all up to speed, Musk critiqued Trump's bill, not Trump as a person or a president, but Trump attacked Elon. So Elon, if we're to believe this reality TV show as actual reality, seeing it as at face value, in a wounded response, went full scorched earth on X, claiming Trump would have lost the 2024 election without his endorsement and his hundreds of millions of dollars in campaign contributions. Then Elon alleged that Trump is in the unreleased Epstein files, and essentially that's why the files remain unreleased. And I'll be frank here, the association between Epstein and Trump has obviously been documented. But Elon is implying that Trump is in the files for something much worse, blackmail material. So if Musk has known about these so-called files, why is he only hinting at it now? I know you can't measure these people by the same criteria that you and I use as character judgment, but if you know something to be corrupt and you're in a position of power where you can inform, why would you even associate with that person? Why wouldn't Elon tell us this information when it became available and apparent to him? Why be a sneaky little snake and wait for the opportune moment? It's very manipulative, very manipulative. And if it is true, why was Elon bringing his child around Trump and the mother of his children around Trump to all these events? It just feels like a distraction because all we really wanted, and by we, I mean everyday Americans, is for the Fed to stop printing money at such an alarming rate. And I don't know, take control of our monetary system and dial back the rampant corruption. But what do we actually get? A keyboard feud, a cyber soap opera. The so-called one big beautiful bill is actually a beast that extends Trump's tax cuts, throws $175 billion at the military and border security, but it also cuts electric vehicle subsidies and domestic programs. There's a lot more to it, but I'm covering this drama, not necessarily the bill. I'm essentially trying to get this video out, and if you would like me to go into further detail about the bill itself, I'd be happy to. Elon Musk says it's a disaster waiting to happen that could spark a recession, especially in conjunction with Trump's tariffs. And who really stands to benefit? Certainly not the American people. Palantir Technologies, led by Peter Thiel and his legion of blood-consuming technocrats. I'm not exaggerating. He literally pumps the blood of teenagers into his veins to extend longevity. I think it was called Ambrosia or something, that startup. I'll put it on the screen.
Controversial new treatment that may hold promise, but at a price.
Dr. Jesse Karmazin is talking about transfusions with the young blood from teenagers, and he says it just may turn back the hands of time.
He's just some billionaire guy, homosexual, parading as a conservative. He bought a few children. I don't know why conservatives embrace him. Anyway, Palantir is in the line to profit bigly from the bill's $25 billion Golden Dome missile defense system and $175 billion for surveillance-heavy homeland security, meaning they're spying on you. Everyday Americans, they're building files on you. It's confirmed. They're putting you on a list. They're tracking your online activity. They're tracking everything about you. They're making you predictable. They're predicting what you might do.
So the PayPal mafia, this is a group of people that worked at PayPal. Elon Musk was a co-founder of PayPal, along with excuse me, Peter Thiel. And so, of course, we know Elon Musk's ties to the administration and what he's doing at Doge. So you have Elon Musk, you have Peter Thiel, who is all over this administration. He hasn't not been public about it, but Peter Thiel is the co-founder of Palantir, which is one of the largest contractors to the CIA. Peter Thiel is the reason J.D. Vance is the vice president. He actually introduced J.D. Vance to Trump and actually lobbied and pushed for that to happen. And so, he's been a big proponent of, obviously, digital payments and technocracy as well.
Look, we built PG, which single-handedly stopped the rise of the far right in Europe. We built Foundry, which was used to distribute the COVID vaccine and saved millions of lives globally.
Palantir has already bagged $113 million in federal contracts this year, including a $795 million Pentagon deal. And the bill conveniently bans states from regulating AI for a decade. I've heard some debates on whether this is good for, capitalism, competition, and so one company doesn't corner the market. Whatever. But it is certainly convenient for Palantir's surveillance empire. They've been a military contractor for some time now for these forever wars of expansion and for oil. And it's the classic founding with CIA money from In-Q-Tel. This company's got technocracy written all over it, is what I'm trying to say. And of course, we can't forget that Peter Thiel is Elon Musk's buddy from way back at PayPal. And J.D. Vance was boosted with Peter Thiel's money. And they've even got Palantir banners at every political event like it's a NASCAR race or something. I've done a video on the technocracy and Elon Musk's familial history. If you haven't seen it already, it will connect a bunch of the dots for you. I also have videos on the technocracy on Peter Thiel on In-Q-Tel dating years back on my channel if you would like me to list those as well. But my question is this a coup to get rid of Trump and put Palantir boy Vance in the driver's seat? Musk even went as far to suggest that Trump has been replaced by a body double, by the way. And don't you think if reality is real and this isn't a script, what would the Biden administration have done with these Epstein files? Of course, if Trump was implicated in them, reality is real. Not a WWE performance to distract us. They certainly would have released the files. They would have, if they didn't want him to win. The whole thing is like Swiss cheese. There are just holes in this story, in this argument. So what is actually going on? Are Musk and Trump merely acting to divert our attention away from Palantir's power grab and the Fed's dominance and all of the war talk that's going on? Trump never even said a thing about Ukraine's attack on Russia. And the more that escalates, the closer the West is to World War III. Don't even get me started on Israel. I can't do it today. This bill seems to encourage corruption rather than address it. And of course, as usual, what we've been talking about for the last 10 years, the technocrats are creating a surveillance state while we are all fixated on this conflict. Will anything actually change as long as our monetary system is ruled by a foreign bank with no allegiance to the American people? As long as we're all debt slaves, does it really matter who is in power? Is the last president prophecy coming true? Is this another staged display to keep us all distracted, or is this a real feud? You tell me, internet friends. I always look forward to reading your comments. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and supporting my channel on Patreon. Also for buying my book, The Deep State Encyclopedia. Bye.